So good morning. Medyo marami tayong bago today, so welcome to your review class. Actually, if you will be attending your lecture and this is your first day, it's going to be very refreshing since listening is the first test of the written component in the IELTS. So if you attended my class last week, which was writing, that was hell. This is the easiest test. Okay? This is the easiest test, regardless of what academic level you're in, regardless of your intelligence quotient whatsoever. Getting a 7 in listening is the most achievable out of the 4 subtests in the IELTS. Okay? That's true. If I already coached about 7,000 students, as of today, more than 1,000 of them got 9 in the listening test. 9 is basically, guys, the highest score in the exam. Okay? So aim for a 9.0 because in the listening exam, this is more achievable than any other tests here. Okay? Especially writing. Don't get dreaming about writing. Okay? Don't get your hopes high. Speaking is the second easiest test. Reading, I had a student who took the test in Singapore last week, and her score was 7 everything except reading, which was 6.5. So if you can imagine, reading is supposed to be another easy version of the test, but some people are having troubles with it. That is the reason why I have a reading major lecture this week again. Okay? So, listening. Our aim for today's discussion is to enhance your skills. If you're already used to the listening exam, if you already tried doing the listening practices, if you haven't, then today's lesson is aimed at you acquiring those essential skills needed for you to pass the listening test. Once again, keep on telling this. I will keep on telling you guys this, that listening is easy. Even a kindergarten can do it. That's a promise. Okay? Our national band score in the Philippines, and that is about 70,000 of test takers not enrolled in any review centers like this one, is a band 7. So kung nag-enroll ka, kung hindi, chance mo maka-7, mataas. Ganun lang po ibig sabihin ng data natin ngayon. Kung hindi, sir, nag-practice ako, hindi ako naka-7, anong ibig sabihin nun? Ikaw na sumagot sa tanong mo na yan. Okay? Baka medyo kulang ka sa iodine. No? So mag-iodine salt ka. Ano pa? Kain ka ng mga healthy. Baka puro alak na lang laman ng utak mo. Tsaka pulutan. Tsaka kamanya ka. Ano? Check mo din. Baka ang may kulang, ikaw, hindi yung exam. Kasi bakit sila kinakain nila? Bakit ikaw hindi? No? So that's something you have to explore in yourself. Because when it comes to attending class, doing your thing, doing your practices, improving your craft, we all adapt to it differently. Okay? We have different coping mechanisms. Like, why do some people, they only attend a class for a month and they pass the test with flying colors? How come I'm not like that? Because we are all different breeds. Some people are going to get pretty exciting scores in speaking. Like Ma'am Shannon. I don't want to spill Ma'am Shannon's score, but she got near perfect. I call it perfect score kasi kay Ara Escarada pa rin siya natapat. 8.5 in speaking. I didn't get that score. But I scored higher than her in reading. That's why she's not very confident teaching reading. Diba? We're all different breeds. Some people would fare better in this type of exam, some don't. So we want all of you guys to be equally able to perform great in all those areas, not just one area alone. Because if you're here and you're looking for a certain score that should not get below a certain level, for example, I'm planning to go to Canada and my requirements is for me to get a 6 across the board without anything getting 5.5, kahit man-9 mo pa si listening, naka-5 ka kay reading, hindi ka pa rin makakapunta because of the requirement. You can understand that. So you have to know at which group you belong to. Because US-bound nurses, they have to perform better in speaking, regardless of their performances in other areas. As long as they get 7 in speaking and a 6.5 overall band score, they get to the US. If you're planning to apply for a permanent residency visa in Australia or in Canada, they will be requiring you different scores. Australia require higher scores than Canada when it comes to PR. So you have to understand which situation you're in, how much effort you have to put in your craft. So we have lectures every Wednesday, every Friday, every Saturday. What about Tuesday? We have replay lectures for academic only. What about Tuesdays and Thursday? We have mock examinations. I'll tell you exactly later how important mock exams are and what will they do to your preparation and why mock exams are the best way to prepare for the test later. Okay? But to begin, regardless of whether you can come in here physically, like obviously most of you guys are doing right now, and we don't have, do we have one? We don't have, oh, we have 2 participants here on Zoom who cannot attend physically. Or for those who cannot attend either, we have replays available, which I upload on all our channels. We have Facebook group, we have Facebook community chat, we have Discord server. Kung hindi ka pa ma-notify, ewan ko na lang sa'yo. Okay? So that the lecture can come to you. Kuha. Okay. Any questions? None. Alright. So, who among you guys here are looking for a score specifically for an individual band score for a particular subtest? Like, dapat yung listening ko, ganito daw. Specifically, naka-indicate yun sa papel mo. Meron? Ano?
Kaya ako per skill ko, 5.5.
5.5 per skill. So, 5.5 listening, 5.5 reading. Kung maka-9 ka man sa listening, maka-5 ka kay reading, di pa rin yung papasok. Di ba? Okay, that's the idea. So, we have the individualized band scores per area. And we have the overall band score or OBS. We have certain conversions. So for European, you have the CEFR level. You have to inquire sa mga consultants. Kasi kami po, once again, we're IELTS passers. We're not visa consultant agencies. We can answer your ask your questions as long as our knowledge will permit it. Pero meron kaming partner visa consultancy agency dito sa kabila. If you want, you can have free consultation. Hindi ko alam kung free. I don't know if may bayad yun kasi nothing is free naman today. That's it. You have to inquire, you have to ask. If you're doing DIY, I don't think I will be of much help pagdating sa mga consultancies, mga ganyan. Kasi that's the reason why we pay our immigrant lawyers huge sum of money. It's because it's going to be quite a tedious task. So, moving back to our original lesson, not immigration policies, etc. It's about the exam. Your examination is divided into 2 sections. So we have the written component and we have the interview. The interview is your speaking. Okay? So we will talk about speaking some other time because unfortunately I'm just through the discussing speaking. Ma'am Shannon will be discussing speaking 2 weeks from now. So our focus is listening. Listening is the first among the written component. People, we have options to take the test whether it's on a computer or on a pen and paper based mode. So the pen and paper based mode is not yet obsolete. It's still an option viable for anyone wishing to take that type of test. But the disadvantage of pen and paper based is that the results will be sent to your email after 15 days. And that's gruesome because imagine your agony waiting for the results only to find out that you fail. Oh my God, 15 araw pa ako naghintay, bagsak lang pala ako. Eh kung computer-based yun, kinabukasan pagising mo, ay putang ina, bagsak pala ako. O diba, at least isang araw lang hirap mo. Nakuha? Okay, wag naman po. Joke lang yan, joke lang. So, that's the idea. Okay? The computer-based test allows you to know your results as early as 24 hours. So, nanood ako ng, nagklase kami ng Sabado. Nanood kami ni Mrs. ng sine ng Linggo. Pagkatapos lang nung palabas, 3:30, nagsipag-message yung mga estudyante, Sir, thank you po. Nagsipasa na po kami. Ganito, hindi nyo na po ako makikita. Thank you, diba? fuck you too. Sabi ko sa kanila, kung pangin na nyo. Lang pakialam, papangit nyo naman. No? So, hindi na kami magkikita-kita. Actually, guys, that's something that makes me happy. It's not seeing your faces for long periods of time. Because that's our goal. You just come here, get what you want, get out of this country, get out of this shithole, be rich in Australia, be wealthy in Canada. That's it. You don't have to look back. Like, even us, sinusumpa namin si IELTS eh. Like, fuck IELTS. Why do we need this shit anyway? Ba't kailangan pa pagdaanan to? Di na pwedeng bayaran na lang to, di ba? Oh, naghihirapan pa. Naghihirap na nga kami 4 na taon sa kurso na to. Tapos meron pang ganitong kahirap. Di ba? Tapos ibabagsak ka pa ng mga walang yan. So we also hate this exam. No one loves this test. We just want all of you to pass. That's our end goal. All of our end goals. Hindi natin kailangan maging magkakaibigan, hindi natin kailangan magpatropa. Alright? So all you have to do is to come here, absorb all the lessons you need, practice, pass your test, be rich, and then plot your revenge to your enemies when you get back here in the Philippines after 10 years once you be a millionaire. Ganun lang yan. Diba? So, pagbalik mo sa Pilipinas after 10 years, saka Land Cruiser ka na, maka-Balenciaga pants ka na. Tapos meron kang gold chains. May pet ka. American Bully. 1 milyon yun. Ba? Pangarap nga ni Mrs. yun, American Bully. Sige, iwas ka ng cigar. Sa mga kaaway ko, ha? Binaril ka. Patay ka pa rin. No? Yun lang. So, we have 2 components. The interview, we'll be talking about that soon through Ma'am Shannon's tutelage. And then the written component. So, I keep on saying written component, right? Even though the option is to take it on a computer. Because yun na po yung habit namin mga coaches eh. It just stuck. Wala na kaming ibang pamalit. Yun na talaga yung tumatak sa isip namin. So when you hear us say written component, we refer to both the pen and paper based and the computer based test together. Alright? So pag sabing written component, it consists of listening, reading, and writing subtests respectively. Sometimes I refer to it as LRW. So pag sabi ko LRW, I pertain to those 3 exams. So as you can imagine, your actual test do not allow you to take breaks in between subtests. Meaning, pag ongoing yung audio, naiihi ka na, pag lumabas ka, nagpe-play yun. Nagigets yung point. So you have to minimize drinking water. Huwag ka masyadong inom ng kape. Some people cannot function well without drinking coffee. Coffee is a type of diuretic. So if you're going to drink coffee, be sure not to follow it up. Huwag mong chaser ng maraming tubig kasi mag-iihi ka talaga as a result. So, swerte kung iihi ka tas natapat yun sa reading. Kasi at least you can manage your time. But if you can also understand, reading will be for an hour. You have to dedicate an hour of your time for reading. You have 40 items. You divide it. 1 minute and 30 seconds lang per item. Iihi ka pa ng 10 minutes o ilang tanong na yung nawala. Nagets yung point. So, you have to learn how to manage your time effectively. Well, you have to undergo simulations that will allow you to physically experience a test close to reality. And what's the best way to do that than to do your mock exams? Ito na nga po. Mock examinations are simulation of the written component. When I say written component, people, listening, reading, writing. Okay? Are we guys on the same page? Listening, reading, writing. We do the mock test 2 times a week. We do it on Tuesday. We do it on Thursday. Okay? Sometimes, I change the schedule, I mix the schedule a bit. Dahil nga may bagyo, may holiday, ina-adjust namin yan ng konti, but it's going to be permanently for Tuesday and Thursday. Okay? With the exception of Thursday, because on Thursday, you have the option to undergo speaking coaching sessions as well. Okay, here's the thing. Before you do mock, before you undergo coaching, make sure that you at least have a slight background of what the test is about. Because some people just dive in blindly without knowing what to expect. Imagine, sino mga mekaniko dito? Taas naman. Wala? May mekaniko ako? Wala. Ang welder, meron tayo? Wala? Mga machine operators, meron? Machine operator, anong machine?
Sa Amado sir, press brake. Sa direct punch press.
Ano?
Press brake sir.
Hindi, alam ko maintindihan sa sinabi niya, di ba? Nag-gets niyo yung point? Pinag-exam mo ko nung exam niya, alam ko idea. Maka 100 ako, maka 0. Hindi ko nga alam kung ano yung mga pinagkasabi niya. Nag-gets yung point? So some people, when they take something for the first time, like an exam, they want to build this meaningful experience. Now, okay, I don't know about you. This is a slap on my face, slap of reality sa akin, sampan ng realidad na, oh, hindi mo alam, sumubo ka agad. Ikaw kasi eh. Di ba? Hindi mo pa alam, sinubukan mo. Wala namang masama. Kasi, practice pa lang. So, some people are okay with that. While some people, they get their confidence shattered. Hala, ganito pa ito kahirap, kaya ko kaya. Di ba? From there, ayan na. Nabawasan na sila ng kumpiyansa. So, this lecture actually is the best way to start your journey. So kung first time mong pumasok, congratulations, ito pong pinakamagandang panimula. No? Ito pinakamagandang panimula sa lahat ng lesson. Paano yung hindi nakapasok kayo, nagpapasok sa Biyernes? E uulit din naman ito after a month. So sa September, meron ulit tayo na itong lecture dito. Clear? Okay. So as I was saying, please have at least a slight background of what you're going to put yourselves into. Because it may help you. I don't know what effect will it have on you. Or it would also make your confidence be shattered. I don't know. And you don't know. That's why it's better to come to the test. Practice. Prepared. Come prepared, at least. Okay? So sa mock exam, we do the listening, reading, and writing one after the other. The same as how the test goes. That's how the test works. You can't take writing first, then reading, then listening. It's always going to be simultaneously, every single one in the test area, taking the listening examination. Every single one. Then after 32 minutes, it's an hour for reading. And after an hour, it's everyone's turn to do their writing. So, how you do the mock? You do listening, then reading, skip writing. Why? Once again, it takes us back to the idea. It takes us back to the idea. Do not do something you're not yet aware of. You don't know how it works. So, in writing, let us discuss first everything you need to know about it. Bakit may audio? Sino itong nagsasalita? Nag-visit mo ako. Sino yan? Kurt! Ikaw pala na yung ating security. My bad. It's my bad. Aha. Security, unmute, and video. Share. View, speaker. View, immersive. Stop, end muna natin. Stop share. Okay, moving back. That's how you do the mock. So let me take you to the history. Ang tagal ng lecture na to. Let me take you to the history why we come up with mock exams. Right? So I've mentioned what's the best way to practice something. It's to practice it under the same environment which we call simulation. Right? Okay. Sinong mga may board exam yung mga courses dito? Anong course mo? Edu. Ha? Criminology. Ikaw, nursing. So, nung nag-aaral kayo, meron ba kayong mga simulation na parang pinag-i-exam na kayo ng board exam? Ano pa? Bago ko sumabak sa ospital, tinuturo na ba sa inyo sa dummy? Kunwari, ito yung pasyente, pupunasan mo siya, sasaksakan mo siya ng lason, gano'n ba? Tatakpan mo yung bibig niya. Para siya makahinga. Lulunurin mo siya ng suero. So, ibig sabihin, tinuturo muna sa isang controlled environment. Na? So, sa EDUC, anong ginagawa natin? Nagdi-discuss tayo sa harap ng mga classmates natin. Sa criminology, nagbubugan tayo mga magkakaklase. Diba? Para sanay na tayo makapaghabulan sa mga kriminal. So, the idea behind the simulation is that it prepares you before the actual thing. So that when you get to that situation, you know what to do. You know the protocol. You know the step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and shit before you do something. That's exactly what we do during mock exams. And what's best is that your mock exams are compilations of your past exams. Meaning, hindi lang po sa dami tayo nagpa-practice, kundi sa totoong tao na. Talking about nursing analogy. So we paid 400,000 pesos just for the software. We imported that software all the way from University of Cambridge in the UK. Why did we do that? Ito, nirerentahan to. Kasi ang may-ari talaga na to is British Council. Hindi si Niner. We're just a partner of British Council. So bakit namin pinapahiram to sa inyo? Because we want you to have the best shot at the test. So if you take your mock, probably tomorrow, you will do. I don't know, some of you will not. Pero pag sinubukan mo siyang gawin bukas, at nakakuha ka ng 7, yun ay malapit sa katotohanan. That's what I'm telling you. If you get 5.5, and your target is 5.5, I don't want you to be too confident taking the test. Because there could be some factors that could play a role. Like, paano kung sa exam, kabado ka? Paano kung sa exam, may hangover ka? Paano kung sa exam, broken-hearted ka? Paano kung sa exam, gutom ka? May mga physical factors na nangyayari. So pagdating mo doon, yung 5.5 na na-reach mo nung previous mock, mas humina ka ng konti. Nagigets yung point? So, I want you to have a slight ceiling, konting margin, na naka-7 ka, ang target mo 6. Bago ka mag-exam, dapat consistently nahihit mo ng 0.5 or 1 point more than your target. So kung ang target ko ay 7, 7.5 or 8, ng 2-3 beses na mock sa listening, reading, okay na. Confident na ako kasi mas malapit yun sa katotohanan. Nagigets? Ay yung writing, again, writing will be discussed this week, but writing is a different kind of exam. It's differently assessed kasi kay listening, reading at the end, it's just whether your answer is A and the correct answer should be B, your answer is incorrect. Ganun lang naman siya. But your writing and speaking tests are scored differently. That's why our simulations involve different types of practices din. Nagkakaintindihan po? Okay. So, mabalik tayo. Si listening is divided into 4 sections. The sections are of increasing difficulty. So, what do we expect? Section 1 is easy. Section 2, manageable. Section 3, oh, this thing is biting already. And then, section 4 is the most difficult type. And I'll explain later why. Why is that arranged in that manner? And how can we make sure that when we get to the test, we can maximize our potential not to be confused how to deal with certain parts. So, how long will the test last? Well, it lasts differently depending on your mode of test. If you're going to take the test in the pen and paper based mode, it's going to be collectively going to last for about 40 minutes. 30 minutes for the audio recording playback so that students can listen as they take down their notes simultaneously, and another extra 10 minutes time only for those students to transfer the answers to the answer sheet, which is not what we do during the computer-based exam. Once again, what test am I taking? Computer-based or pen and paper-based? You get to decide. But if you take the computer-based test, it works differently. You don't get to have this 10 minutes extra time. You're only given 2 minutes. Why? Why? You have to understand it. Bakit magkaiba yung time na binibigay kay pen and paper kay computer-based? So later, I will let you experience a pen and paper-based exam. Personally, no? 1 to 40 po na exam yon. Yung pinapractice ko kanina, tsaka pinaprint ko na to. Yun pong mga hindi lalagpas sa 35 ang score, ay maiiwan po dito. At meron pa akong isang hinanda. Hanggat hindi ka nakaka-35, hindi ka lalabas. 5 po itong exam na to. Okay? Wala pong lalabas dito ng hindi nakakalagpas ng 35. Nagkakaintindihan? Ginusto nyo, enroll ka pa eh. Gusto mo pumasa, tapos ngayon, diba sulit yung bayad? O at least, sulit dito yung bayad. Kaysa naman, basahin mo na lang yan sa bahay. Hindi. Ilalak yan. Bulang-bulang, boy, parang dyan makalabas. Okay? Oo. Hindi pa rin. Okay, may mga guard ako dyan. Pati yung mga tricycle dyan, tropa ko yan. Si Hepe, si Bangkay, lahat yan, tropa ko yan. Hindi kayo makalabas. Hindi kayo naka-35. That's the deal. Bakit sir? Taas! Natural, kakaturo ko pa lang sa inyo. Dapat mataas na. Tinuruan ko na kayo eh. Diba? Okay. So bakit po magkaiba? Sagutin natin yung tanong. Sa pen and paper base kasi ganito. May booklet ka eh. Sabi ng mga nasa Zoom, sakto, hindi ako pumasok. Nag-Zoom lang ako ngayon. Ligtas. Okay. Baka hindi na pumasok ng personal to mga to. Puro Zoom na lang. So, eto, yung test booklet, for example, you listen, you're going to write your answers on the test booklet first. In the actual exam, again po pen and paper-based po dinidiscuss ko. Yung computer-based, ipe-play ko pa lang kung ano yung mga test proceedings natin dyan. So, I'm just talking about the pen and paper-based muna para sa mga interesadong tao na gustong mag-take nun. Well, again, walang pumipigil sa inyo ha. Parehas lang naman ang presyo. So, imagine mo, lahat ng sinulat mo dito, ita-transfer mo isa-isa. Bawa, dito sa question number 11, have been used for driving. Ganun kahaba yung sagot mo. Kaya mo bang ilipat 1 to 40 items sa separate answer sheet ng 2 minutes lang? Hindi, di ba? So, 10 minutes po ang binibigay. Actually, kaya mo yung gawin in 6 minutes, so mabilis talaga. But, syempre, may mga corrections ka pa dyan, may mga babaguhin ka, meron ka mga edits, no? Meron ka pa mga gagamiting hypothetical guesses sa mga na-miss mong items. That's what the 10 minutes is for transferring for the pen and paper-based test takers. How come, pag computer-delivered exam, walang ganun? Ito naman yung sistema. Habang nagsusulat ka, habang nakikinig ka, rather, you're typing your answers directly through your virtual test booklet. Nasa monitor. Doon mo siya nilalagay. Nag-click ka doon, nagsulat mo 8, type mo yung answers mo. So by the end of the test, sabi nila listening, your exam is over. You now have 2 minutes to check your answers on your virtual answer sheet. Magpa-flash yung answer sheet. Kung saan nandun yung na-compile mo na question, automatically uploaded siya doon sa virtual answer sheet. You don't have to manually input them one by one. Punta ka sa site na to, punta ka dito. Hindi na siya ganun ka-tedious. So, only 2 minutes. For example, kompleto na lahat ng answer, you miss an item, random. Sige, bigyan mo ako number, 1 to 40. 36. Layo ah. Pinahirapan mo pa ako ah. 36. Shit, wala akong. Yung naiwan, si Boy. Wala yung last page. 36. Oh. Wala kang answer sa 36. Halimbawa lang ha. Imported 4 wind generators from the blank. Yeah. Imported 4 wind generators from the So, ibig sabihin, pag nag-import ka, bansa yan di ba? So, halimbawa, China. Obviously, hindi naman pwedeng imported forming generators from the China. Hindi mo naman kasi pa nilagyan ng the ng lugar. So, ibig sabihin, it pertains to people living in China from the Chinese. So, pwedeng yan ang hula ko. Halimbawa lang ha, example lang po yun. Nagkakaintindihan. Okay? From the Germans, kung gusto mo German. From the Americans, kung yun ang trip mo. Hula nga eh. Diba? So yun po yung 2 minutes. It gives you time so that those missing inputs can still be supplied with. Pupunan mo yung mga nawawala. Mga missing. Ano? So yun po yung difference ng time natin ng taking ng test. The recording is played once only. There's no replay. Diba? Tulad ng buhay. Hindi na po natin maaaring ibalik ang mga nakaraan. Tulad ng mga panahong kasama mo siya. Kayo ay nagpupunta ng mall. Kayo kumakain sa mga inasal. Habang nagkukurutan kayo na may mantika-mantika pa ang kamay niya. Hindi na po natin maaaring ibalik yan. Okay? So kaya, namnamin natin ang bawat moment. Kaya naman habang nag-i-exam ka, namnamin mo siyang mabuti. Isang beses lang to. Ito na to. So we have to experience it. Alright? And write your answers. Type your answers on the test book that asks you listen. Yun nga lang, sa computer-based test, mas kinakailangan mo ng multitasking para doon. Unlike in the pen and paper-based mode, mas madali kasi siyang mag-outline. Yun lang ang advantage niya. But the audio sucks. Ang pangit ng audio system. Kahit sa ang testing center. Kahit saan. Kasi mga malalaking hotels yung ginagamit nila. Diba? So, nung nag-exam ako sa Crown Plaza Ortigas, napakalaki ng ceiling, tapos ang kapal ng carpet. So, lahat ng sound ngayon, kahit gano'n pa kalakas, na-absorb ng carpet. Hindi siya ngayon gano'n kabuo pagdating ng mga nasa dulo. Medyo mahina na siya kahit may mga speakers na sa likod. So, kapag computer-based, naka-earphones yan. So, yung pawis yung mga dating gumamit dyan, yun lang ano dyan. So, inilinis naman po namin. Meron po kaming mga disinfectants. Making sure yung mga kuto, yung mga klase niyo. Magsha-shampoo kayo ha? Okay? Alright, so the recording is only played once. Listen intently. Listen with the intention of getting as many answers as you possibly can. Follow the example. This is where many people get wrong answers. And please don't fall asleep. Make sure that you are both physically and mentally prepared as you come to the exam. For the pen and paper-based exam, we have different test booklet and test answer color. Ito po yung color ng ating answer sheet. Wala po tayong ganyan sa computer-based exam because you will type your answers virtually directly on the computer screen. So, sir, what's the difference between the computer-delivered IELTS and the pen and paper-based one? Well, ito po ang difference niya. Let's watch. Mahina. Mahina ah. Mic volume. Yan.
For the listening test, you can change the volume by using the volume bar in the top right at any time during the test. For each part of the listening test, you will hear the recording once only.
So I've mentioned you have 1 to 40 items divided into 4 sections. In 2021, they changed this rule. You will no longer hear section 1, 2, 3, or 4. They change it into part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. So sometimes it's not divided equally into 10s. Hindi siya 10, 20, 30, 40. Sometimes may 8 lang sa part 1. Then yung 9 to 21, part 2, sometimes it's between 8 and 12 items. But if you get the total, hanggang 40 lang po siya. Okay?
Some parts of the test have more than one type of question.
So, previously, on the video, we saw that in occasions like those, you have to type your answers literally, directly on the blank. But in this case, you have to interact with the blank, whereas you will get your options here. For example, Mary Brown is dedicated for kids counseling. This is what you heard. People, hindi to hula. Sabi niya, Mary Brown, you are going to be delegated for kids counseling. So, click mo tong kids counseling, drag mo dito kay Mary Brown, bitaw. Malalaglag ngayon si kids counseling kay Mary Brown.
Each type of question has its own instructions.
Map!
In the listening test, listen carefully for the part number and question numbers to make sure you are looking at the right screen. For some questions, you need to write your answer in the gap. For some questions, you need to choose which diagram label, A, B, C, etc., is correct for which item listed in the table. For each question, click on the correct space in the table. For some questions, you need to click on an answer and move it into the gap.
Drag and drop.
If you want to change an answer, move another answer into the gap.
Walang doon, mapapalitan na siya.
If you want to leave the question unanswered, move the question back.
Return. Okay, ako ha?
And for some questions, you need to move an answer into a gap on a diagram. At the end of the listening test, you will have 2 minutes to check all of your answers. The tests will automatically stop when the time finishes.
Yay! That's what happens during your exam. Check, 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 check. Okay na. So, questions. So again ha, I want you guys to experience it firsthand. Di ba po siya mararanasan mo personal? Kasi kukwento ko lang, ganito gagawin mo eh. Drag and drop mo nga. Ganun ba? O, try mo. May pakikisam tayo dyan. Sir, paano kung hindi kami makapunta? Kasi sir, prinsesa ako sa bahay, bawal po ako lumabas. Dito lang po ako sa bahay namin. Baha po sa labas. Diba? Pwede po kayo mag-map sa bahay. Alright? Just send us a message kung ano yung website at kung ano yung steps na iti-take nyo para makapag-practice kayo dun sa bahay. But we don't recommend you doing mock every day. Okay? Hindi ko sinasuggest yung everyday na practice ha. Nagmamaka na dito. Nagmamaka pa sa bahay. Addict ang tawag sa'yo. No? Okay. Guys, imagine, even in the athletic department, di ba? Yung mga atleta, may pahinga din po yan. May tinatawag tayong rest and recovery period. Hindi mo kailangang i-cram lahat ng practice na yon, pahirapan ang sarili mo na pag nakita ni Lord, lahat ng sakripisyo ko na to. Itong mga 5 na to, magiging 6 to. Hindi po ganun yun. Okay? Alright, so you have to do it properly. You have to keep it well-balanced. Okay. Perfect score is 9. That means getting 40 out of 40. No errors. Kaya. Kinaya nga nila eh. Di ba? Oh. Ano ang minimum para makakuha ng 7? 30. So meaning, getting 30, kasi most of the candidates who enroll here, they're looking for this band score. 7 listening, 7 OBS. So getting a band 7 is pretty achievable for overall band score. If you get a high band score in listening first, because the listening test, the easiest test will be the one pulling it up. Unlike yung writing and speaking, yung kasi magpapababa ng score. Kasi listening, let us use listening as our strategic marker so that it pulls our overall band score up, not down. So 30 points. So whenever you do practice, always aim for a minimum of 30. Okay? Always aim for a minimum of 30. So ito ba? Parang ayabang mo naman na kayang i-perfect yung mga exam na yan. Ito, nag-exam lang to nung Saturday. Pangalan nung estudyante na yun. Tubunan na. Teka lang ha, babasahin ko sa inyo. 10 na pala. May isang oras na. Ayan. Ilan yung listening niya? Napakayabang. Oh. Kasi siya yung pinakamadali. Tingnan niyo yung iba. Reading 7, writing 6.5, speaking 6.5. On target niya, OBS na 7. So kahit mababa yung writing and speaking niya, as expected, sabi ko yun, nanghihila pababa. Because the listening was so hyper-inflated, hinila nun pataas yung score. Kaya 7 pa rin ang OBS niya. Sabi ko, grabing listening yan. Buti nagmali ka, kundi perfect ka na sana, sabi ko sa kanya. Diba? Magmamali din kayo. Kasi pagka perfect yan, sobrang yabang mo na, baka sa Jollibee, doon ka na pumipira sa mga PWD, tinutulak mo na yung matatanda eh. Bakit? Naka-9 ba sa listening tong sinanay? Ako, naka-9 ako. Dapat priority ako dito sa restaurant na to. Okay? Naka-wheelchair, inuunahan mo. Dahil lang naka-9 ka sa listening. Kasi pag gano'n, so sobrang yabang naman tayo. Saktong yabang lang. 8.5. Okay? Alright. So what are the exam stages? We have the before listening stage. You read the questions in advance. Actually, listening is the kindest type of test when it comes to time management. It gives you time to prepare. Sabihin niya sa'yo, you'll now hear a conversation between Yumi and the librarian. Listen to question 1 to 10. You have 1 minute to prepare. So, pagpakinggan mo. Who advised Yumi to join the local library? Flatmate, Mary Ann, librarian, Mary Ann and Yumi's flatmate. Sino kaya? So, pag narinig mo yung mga names na yun, na pag-uusapan nila, yun magiging potential answer. What items cannot be borrowed from the local library? Books, books, VHS, CDs, and news. Sabi doon, you can borrow everything from the library. From books, CDs, and even news. Hindi nabanggit yung VHS. So, hindi pwede. So, yun ang sagot. Nagkakaintindihan. So, because the test gives you 1 minute time to prepare and you use it intellectually, madali mong na-gets ano yung mga lalabas na answers. Ang tinatawag natin doon, it's the premeditated response. Na, ano kayang possible answer dito? For example, dito sa number 12, sabi na sa'yo, you now have 1 minute to look for questions 11 to 20. Number 12, nakalagay, 10.8 by blank cm. So malamang sa malamang, numero ang babanggitin dyan. Nakalagay sa question 3, birthday, month, blank, tapos yung day, 12, tapos 2003. May birthday, February 12, 2003. So yung 12 at 2003 meron, ang nabanggit naman, February. Yun ang putang inang sagot. So because you prepared first. Alright? So use that time wisely. So you have the before stage. At ang bait ng listening dahil may paganyan siya. Tapos sa during, ang bagal nilang magsalita. Kasi di ba pa nag-usap tayo sa totoong buhay, hey bro, what's your name? What's your birthday? Well, my birthday is in March 9, 1993. Tapos in the afternoon, my mom, ganyan. Ganyan tayo mag-usap eh. Pero pag listening, hi! When is your birthday? Oh, my birthday? It's on February 6. O, ima-highlight nila yung sagot. So please, pag di mo pa nakuha, medyo questioning mo na yung sarili mo. Di ba nakuha yun? Di ba? Hindi eh. Ang bagal-bagal na eh, hindi mo pa rin nakuha. Bakulang ka sa practice. Okay? After listening, never fail to review your answers. On the recording, you'll hear you're now given half a minute to check your answers. So see, gaano ka generous in listening. It gives you 1 minute to prepare. It gives you slow versions of the conversation. And it gives you 30 seconds to check whether you have written those answers correctly. Or you have complied to the directions. Remember, always the directions, okay? So why do we have increasing difficulty? Well, there are two barriers to listening. One is accent, another is content. When it comes to accent, you can do something about it by listening to your accent very often. Now, for the exam content, that's where the difficulty level is. Section 1 and 2 are easier because they fall under the general everyday scenarios or what we call social context. Ito yung mga usual day-to-day conversations. Tulad ng pag-inquire. Diba? Inquiry. When you say inquiry, someone is asking for information. Another one is supplying information. For example, enrolling at a university. For example, we have John asking Mary about the wow. Pagpaka naman natin si ma'am. Ma'am, congratulations. Saan ka galing? Kung mo sabihin ka ba na ito, sasampalin kita. Okay. Joke lang. So we have John and Mary. John is interested in taking this Bachelor of Science in Information Technology course. And then Mary is the school registrar. So definitely, Mary is asking John about some credentials, and John is asking about the price, the date, when will the class begin, and those are the questions. Diba? How much does it cost to enroll at this Hope University? Okay. For example, gets yung point. That's one. Isang example lang yan. Another example, meron ka nakitang post online, motor, pinibenta, nag-i-inquire ka, second hand yun, gano'n nakatagal yung motor sa may-ari, na rehistro ba yun, kailan siya narehistro, anong size yung gulong, anong size yung makina, anong gasolina ang ginagamit. Nagigets yung point? So lahat ng questions na yun, you have to supply those answers on those blanks. So those are common contents for sections 1 and 2. Someone asking for information, another one supplying information. Clear? Alright, kaya madali si sections 1 and 2. Whereas section 3 and 4, related na yan sa school. O tulad yan ha, nandito na ako sa section 3. Reasons given for speaker adopting wind generating power. So tungkol na to sa electricity production. Oh. Ito namang number 21 to 30. Match the advantages of joining a learning circle 1 to 6 to the person. Si Anita, si Hamish, economic tutor. Kasi si section 3, dialogue siya ng mas maraming tao. Si section 1 kasi, it's just a dialogue between two people. Fix yan. Laging may isang tao nagsasalita, nagtatanong ng information, another one supplying for information. Section 2 could be a monologue. Sabi monologue, only one person discussing. But the lecture is about general public interest pa din. Like, paano makatipid kapag nagsha-shopping, paano makatipid pag nag-check ng ticket prices. Yung mga ganun eh. No? Section 3, school or training related. May kinalaman sa school. Sino gagawa ng ganito sa project natin. Mostly sa section 3 yan. And section 4, it's about a lecture. Boring. History, electricity, tungkol yan sa paano tumubo ang mga damo. May mga ganun eh. No? Kung paano nakakatulong yung mga shark sa ecosystem. No? Yan yung mga questions sa section 4. So as you would have already noticed by now, the difficulty level does increase as you progress towards the end. Clear? Okay. Next is accent. We have 3 major accents that play a role in the test. So we have the American accent for the very lucky few. And we have the British accent most commonly used in the IELTS exam. I could proudly say that more than half of the sections, so we have 4 sections, yung 2-3 doon, naka-British accent. 2 to 3 of which. That's a 70% chance. So it's either one section being American or Australian. Meron din po mga ibang accent eh, like Filipino accent. Nangyari na po ito sa Hong Kong 2018. Hi, my name is Marie and I am the domestic helper here. Ganun, may mga ganun po. Totoo, pero bihira yun ha. Sa loob ng isang taon siguro isang beses na mag-a-appear. May mga Chinese accent din. Tulad nito, si Yumi, hindi ko alam kung Japanese yung accent niya, but naka-encounter na tayo one time ng Chinese accent na walan siya ng passport. Isa din sa exercise na ginagawa natin. Pero hindi siya yung majority ng accents. There's no point for us to study Japanese or Chinese for that matter. You just have to get used to basic English communication. No? So si American, bakit swerte pag American? Because we're used to American accent. We listen to American songs. We watch American shows, Hollywood shows. We watch American TV programs. No? So we're used to American accent. Si British, although common din, may mga singers din tayo mga kilala dyan. Like si Ed Sheeran. No? Ano pa? Mga movies like Harry Potter. Naka-British accent yan. So we're also used to British accent. So why do we call those people who encounter Australian accent cursed during the test? Naka-encounter ka na ng Australian sa Mac. Kumpara mo sa ibang version. Mas mababa ka, no? Mahirap talaga siyang sabayan. Oh, actually, my wife's cousin, talaga sinabi ko dito her husband was Australian and he was a good friend of mine. Pag nag-uusap kami, ako lang kausap niya. Kasi nga, wala nakakaintindi. Sino ba? Gusto natin kausapin yan. Kasi nga, iba yung accent ng Australian. You have to have good listening skills. Just for you to understand half of what they say. Ayaw nyo maniwala? Ayaw maniwala nung mga nasa likod? Sige. Totoo sinasabi. Hindi na tayo makinig yan. No? So, this is an example of an American accent. Merong isang American person na binasa tong paragraph na to. So, listen to how she will pronounce the words.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She will scoop these things up into 3 red bags, and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
Alright, so one of the features of American accent is gliding. So when it comes to gliding, pag sinabing gliding, they want to be through with it. Gusto lang nila matapos na. So, mabilis sila magsalita. So, example of which, pag meron kang pinapanood na basketball player, favorite mo ba si LeBron, o kaya si Curry, o kaya si Durant, o kaya si Harden. Pag kinausap mo sila, we bounce and we grab the ball and we switch it around. And I think the coach did a really good job in switching all players. And that's where we got to take it up. Ganun sila magsalita. Hindi mo na halos maintindihan because they're lazy, they're lower jaw. Ang tawag doon is gliding. They eat some of the words like yung mountain, certain, curtain, nagiging mountain, certain, curtain. Ganun na lang, kinakain nila. Literally, they eat half of the syllables. That's how you pronounce. So kung sa speaking, hindi yun ang gagayahin mong accent. Tama? Kasi tayo, dahil sanay na tayo sa American accent, lalo yung mga nasa call center, sabi nila, it's call center, internet, ganun sila magsalita. But that's not how you pronounce it. We just adapt to the American accent because majority of their clients are from America. That's the reason why. Okay? But ano ba ang susundin natin ng proper pronunciation when it comes to speaking? It's the IPA or the International Phonetic Alphabet. So try to search it on Google. Tuturo din ni Ma'am Shannon yan sa pronunciation lecture niya probably next week at sa speaking skills enhancement natin na lectures. Okay? Alright. So that's American accent. Is it easy? Kayang i-digest? Madaling i-crunch? Yes, kasi sanay tayo eh. Regardless of how fast American people speak, we can catch up because we're used to it. Sanay tayo sa speech nila. Ito yung British.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags and we will go meet her Wednesday at the train station. Okay. So, British accent. Ito, medyo madaling British accent kasi maraming mga versions ang British accent. Ano? Like si Ed Sheeran, yung T and R, wala na sa pronunciation nila. So, pag sinabi niya yung word na better, wala nang T, wala nang R. Yung iba naman, super fully emphasize ang letter T. Like when they highlight, for example, water, they pronounce it as water. Alright? Good morning. Okay. So that's how they pronounce it. And it's
much more digested easily since it's well syllabicated. It's evenly spaced out. For example, when they pronounce the word 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, unlike the American accent, when they pronounce it 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, it's much faster because they have the tendency to do gliding. Okay? And now, for the main event. We talked about the American accent and British accent being barriers to the listening exam. Now, let's welcome the Australian accent so that you guys will believe me. Alright, this is your Australian accent, guys.
Please call Stella. Ask her to bring these things with her from the store. 6 spoons of fresh snow peas, 5 thick slabs of blue cheese, and maybe a snack for her brother Bob. We also need a small plastic snake and a big toy frog for the kids. She can scoop these things into 3 red bags, and we'll go meet her Wednesday at the train station.
That's exactly what you will hear in the test. And when you hear that, you will now tell me face to face, sir, you're correct. People who encounter this type of accent in the test are only those who are cursed. Right? Again, we have Australian friends. But the way how they speak words, particularly in the speaking test, in the listening test, is not the best type of accent to encounter. So do you guys agree that accent is a barrier to listening? So what can we do to overcome this barrier? Or to break the barrier? Again, prayer. Talk to a priest, a father, whatever religion you may have, pray. No? If you're Buddhist, if you're practicing Buddhism or Islam, pray that please, huwag sana matapat sa si Australian accent. Again, if destiny is not on your side, because no matter how much you pray for something, and if it's not for you, and Australian accent is still the one that will appear on your test, huwag naman sana, again, because of that reason, at least you come prepared. You get used to the accent. Listen to your audio all day long. So what I will do, after this discussion is over, as I promised, there will be a recording of the lecture so that people who weren't able to come, people who weren't able to join us over Zoom at the beginning of the lecture, which is already an hour ago, can still watch the replay of what transpired an hour ago. Together with that replay, I will attach an Australian accent type of exam. Again, as I've mentioned, you don't have to take the test full-blown. When I say that, you don't have to literally practice and take the test. You just have to play the audio. Who among you guys have their own cars? Sino po? Taas kamay. Wala? Oh, sino nang nagbabiyahe? Sino mga mahilig mag-travel? Yan. So if you travel from one place to another, saan na ba yung audio na yun? Australian. If you travel from one place to another, sino naglilinis ng bahay? Seryoso? Baka naman para magmukha akong mabait sa mga klase ko. Sir, naglinis ng bahay. Hugas ang pinggan. Just listen.
A woman wants to find out about a paraglider.
Your audio.
Listen to the conversation.
Gawin mo siyang sound trip.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. And where would we stay? Well, look, they seem to operate a campsite too, because it says here that it's only $10 a day to pitch a tent. That'd be fine, wouldn't it? And that way would save quite a bit, because even a cheap hotel would cost money.
I will attach this exact same audio as well, so that you can listen to it while you're doing your stuff at home, like cleaning the house, washing the dishes, or just chilling in your bed. What the fuck is happening, right? So just have to get used to it, to the accent, because it's crazy. Like, A simple word, October, is pronounced as October in Australia. Where were you born, Kevin? I was born October 999. That's October 9, 1999. It's crazy. So if you're not used to it, how can you possibly write the answer? See, it's difficult to catch up. And worse, the audio, those characters you listen, are not actually Australian-born people. They're not locals. They are students of University of Cambridge where this is recorded. So they're trying to mimic the accent, and as they do so, it becomes too OA. Diba? It's much worse. So, be prepared. American, British, normal day. Australian, yikes. Say your prayers. Okay? Good luck. So we have different types of answers. We have multiple choice, singular answer, where we just have to pick a letter out of the 4 items. I have here a sample of the test that we will be doing later. Ano ba maganda dito? $25. The purpose, for example, I'm done with the test. I missed item 25. So I've mentioned this is what we do. This is where we do the hypothetical guess. Okay? Which means, since we don't want to leave any items blank, we have to supply it even though we have to guess. Again, hypothetical guess. Hindi lang, 25, wala akong sagot. Lagay ko kaya okra. Multiple choice pala. Diba? So, the purpose of studying past exam papers is to A, do well in the end of the exam. B, contribute to the learning circle. Or C, compare answers of past papers with other students. What do you think? We're guessing, we haven't heard the audio. A, B, or C? B, to contribute to the learning circle? Probably. But I'm guessing compare answers of past papers with other students because that's where I can get the term past. That's, again, this is my guess. It could be the other way around. It could be B, it could be A, I don't know. It's just I'm teaching you right now. If out of the 40 items on the test, you missed one, you don't leave it blank. Provide answers even if you have to guess. Who knows? It may be the correct answer. Okay. We have multiple answers. In your examination, especially if it's computer-based test, you cannot proceed to the next unless you select the minimum requirement. For example, 36, you have to select 2 items, A to F. You selected A and C. You can now proceed to the next item. But if you don't, for example, you only click A, your answer will not be considered correct because it didn't meet the minimum requirement. Now, we have the content. Are they going to speak word for word as how the questions appear on the test? Most of the time, they will paraphrase. But majority, it's verbatim. You will exactly hear what they say in accordance to what is written on your test booklet. Okay? Some words will be different, but the translation, the context will be the same. So, here's an example. So, I will be playing this excerpt from the question. Question 21 to 23 about Amina's project.
Section 3. Listen to a female student, Amina, talking to her tutor, Dr. Bryson, about her project on local history. Amina has completed a first draft of the project. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 26.
So time to look. What are you going to do? Look and search for clues. Local blank, school, hospital, or factory. Particularly like something, so you have to wait for adjectives that mean something particularly like something. For example, amazing, wonderful. Look for those, listen to those adjectives that will be mentioned later. And
now listen carefully to the first part of the discussion and answer questions 21 to 26.
Well, Amina, thanks for letting me have your draft in such good time.
Oh, that's all right. I was just very anxious to hear what you think of it. You can see that I decided to change the topic.
Huh?
I had been interested in looking at Bering's factory.
Oh, I think the hospital was a much better choice. In fact, well, I have to say that I thought it was good.
Oh.
There's still lots of work to be done.
Oh, yes, of course.
But there's plenty of good ideas. It opens well, and the first chapter is fine, but the middle section really stood out for me. Most interesting.
That's amazing, because I really didn't find it a bit easy to write.
How long did you work on the whole thing?
Well, I spent about 2 or 3 weeks reading and doing general research, and then I dashed the writing off very quickly. So about 4 weeks in all.
Well, that's about par for the course. You've got a while yet to make the changes.
Oh, right. No problem.
Right. Let's have a look at my notes here. Okay. Starting with section headings. The broad divisions are good, but you'll have to redo.
what happened? Amina's project is about the hospital. According to what she said, I decided to change the topic. You see, I was looking at Bering's factory. Oh, I think the hospital, which is what her project is about right now, is a much better choice. So from originally, it was a factory, but she changed it. That's why her project right now is about the hospital. Clear? That's why I clicked hospital. Now, Dr. Bryson said that, oh, there's plenty of things to be done. It opens well. That is what he was referring to the introduction. So what adjective did he use in the introduction? Well. Ay, ano ba? Well, di ba? The first chapter is fine. Sabi niya doon. But the middle section really stood out well for me. Most interesting. Now, if you're going to ask yourself, between Dr. Bryson saying introduction, well, first chapter, fine, middle section, really stood out well for me, most interesting. Which do you think is what he particularly liked? It's the middle section, correct? Because that's where he put all those adjectives, specifically highlighting that he find the middle section most interesting out of the three. So I choose letter C. 23. Amina was surprised because she? Why was she surprised? Oh, is that so? Sabi niya, because I didn't find it easy to write. Hindi ko nadalian eh. Totoo ba? Nagandahan mo ba? Hindi nga ako nadalian eh. So, ano ba ang direct translation ng didn't find it easy? Found it difficult. That's why the answer for number 23 is letter C. Wow. So that is how the exam goes. So, everyone will agree with me that the most difficult part of any listening test is definitely the map, correct? Do you agree? Sino pa naka-encounter mag-map? Map is the most difficult. Why? Why do you think map is the most difficult part of the test? Can you share something about why maps are difficult? Is there any particular reason? So once again, may I see the hands of those who have tried doing the mock? Can see your hands. All right. And those of you who have tried doing the map during the mock, why do you think map is difficult? Sir, bali, nadadalian ko nga yung map eh. Ba't kaya mahirap si map?
Isa sir, parang sa
Oo nga, sa tao lang siya, sir. Kasi ako nadadalian. Wala ko yung sabi na nahihirapan ako. So bakit po kaya mahirap si map for you guys? What do you think? Hindi pa? Nakakalito. Exactly. It messes with your direction. So if your sense of direction is poor, you'll mess everything up on the map. Diba? Head north. Besides, adjacent to. Yung mga terms na ginagamit nila, which you call prepositions. Besides, neighboring, adjoining, at the rear, transversely. Ano sabihin nun? Diba? So, it makes it difficult for anyone to follow the map if you're having difficulties following simple directions. So what directions are we talking about? The basic, north, south, east, and west. Where's north? Where's south? And nasaan yung east and west? Diba sometimes, si west ba yung kaliwa o kanan? So we don't have something to remember them by. So you have to remember them. North, dito sa harap na natin lahat. North, south, west, east. Natuha? Okay, sulat natin. Nalilito na ako sa west and east. Huwag kayo mag-alala. So we have the north, south, so we have the west, we have the east. And that's how you remember them. So we have not only primary directions, but we also have secondary directions, where you combine north and east to get northeast, west and south to get southwest, diba? Etc. So you have to remember your directions. Do I have a tip? Kasi when you do maps on a pen and paper based test, ang daling sundan eh. Alam mo kung bakit? May lapis ka, alam mo, tinitrace mo lang siya. Can you trace the map during the computer based test? Well, you can, sort of. You sort of can trace the map using your finger. Literally, you do your finger. Use your finger. So, the map is ongoing. Here's my finger. Here's my keyboard. Here's my mouse. I'm literally pointing at the screen as I interact. So see how it's difficult to multitask. That's what makes maps on a computer-based listening test crazy. Much crazier than your pen and paper-based method, which is much easier. Again, yun lang naman ang advantage niya. Okay? So, tingnan natin. Yan. Yan po yung map. So, sabihin na exam, you now have 1 minute to look for questions 15 to 17. 3 items lang. Okay? Sample na natin. Okay pa? Sample na natin. Stereo nga pala ako. Sorry guys, sorry. My bad.
Well, here we are. Well, here we are at the top of the tower. And we're going to look at the view from each direction. Out to the east, the large buildings about 1 kilometre away are on the Olympic site. There's an indoor arena for gymnastics, a stadium for track and field, and a swimming pool for races and synchronised swimming, and also diving. If you look carefully down there, you can see the train lines. The Olympic site has its own station to encourage the use of public transport. There is also a car park, but it only holds a limited number of cars. The formal park has some specially created water features. If you look out here to the south, you can see a circular ornamental pond. And around to the west, you can relax and sit on a bench to smell the flowers and the rose garden. And finally, up to the north, if you look in front of you now, there's a lake with a small island in the centre. You can hire rowing boats at the boat shed, which you can't see from here. But if you look through the trees, you can see the cafe, which has lovely views across the water. OK, let's climb down now. We will go now and have a look at the nature reserve section of the park, which has opened up natural wetland to the public.
All right, so why did I encircle them using my red ink? That is my finger. Kunwari. Diba? Here we are, top of the tower. That's my reference point. I am here. And when the lady talking sa audio says return to the reference point, I can easily pinpoint it. So, tower, the indoor arena, the Olympic side, about a kilometer away, is on the east. So, ayun yung ating arrow. Kuha lang ako ng ating laser pointer. Yan. So, pumunta ako dyan, a kilometer away. So, how did I get notified of our reference? She mentioned the location. We have an arena, we have stadium and swimming pool for synchronized swimmers and also divers. If you look carefully down there, there's a train line. It has its own station to encourage the user to use the public transport. And there's also a car park. So she mentioned something that I don't have any notes about. So this is basically what the car park is. Gets? Okay. Now, out here to the south, balik na naman ako sa reference point. From the reference point down, we have the pond. Andito na tayo ha. Again, we need to continue. Alright? We're at the pond. And on the western section, there are benches where you can sit and relax with roses sa ating rose garden. So, yung mga roses na nakapalibot daw dito kay benches ay nasa rose garden. So, most basically, yun si rose garden. And then, on the northern part, okay, burahin ko nga ito muna para medyo malinaw. On the northern part, meron daw lake. Ito yung lake with a small island on the center. Ito po tinapon yung mga sabongero. Ano? You can also hire rowing boats which you cannot see from here. Bakit? Nasa tower ka, ito yung rowing boats, ito yung mga trees na mablock na yung view. So that's the logic, no? But if you look through the trees, look at the word, through. Pag sinabing through, sa pagitan ng mga puno, ay merong, ito siya, cafe, which you can enjoy lovely views of the lake. Gets? So that's how you do the map. You trace the map using your, kung right-handed ka, yung right hand mo nasa mouse because your mouse will be used to drag and drop the answers. Or perhaps to click the sections. Kasi may mga ganong errors like what I've shown you guys kanina. May map dito. May mga, i-connect mo lang siya dun sa click-click. Para yung mouse mo naka-click. Tapos yung kabila naman naka-point doon sa monitor. Nakikita? Pakita ko. Para maintindihan yung reference ko. Erase ink. Laser pointer. Dito po sa ating audio kanina na pinakita as an example. Yan, for example, okay? For example lang, ano? So, ito yung mouse pointer mo, which will allow you to drag and drop. Sabi dyan, halimbawa lang, ha? The sports complex is surrounded by the garden. Ito yung garden. Ito yung sports complex. So you have to drag. Nakikita po ha. Ito yung finger ko. Garden. Ayun. Ito yung mouse. Nagigets po yung ginagawa ko. Alright? So ma-action po talaga kapag map. So literally you have to act. So you listen. This is your audio. It says, the sports complex is surrounded by the garden. So click mo ngayon itong si sports complex. Drag mo siya papunta sa 16. Huh? Yeah, so gumagalaw siya. Above it, up north, The staff lounge is, ano ba maganda malapit sa staff lounge? And accommodation can be found. Staff accommodation. So, andun yung staff lounge. Andun din daw yung accommodation. Uwa ka na naman dyan. Accommodation, dala mo dyan. Nakita po yung nangyari, oftentimes, answers are not given in chronological order. Item 16 was given. Then, item 18, huwag ka sorry, 17. O, tsaka pa lang siya babanggitin. Sometimes, one item could overlap the other. So, don't panic just yet. Alright? So, we have the magandang ilagay sa boys accommodation. So, you have to listen to the audio kasi I'm just making up things here. I don't know exactly the audio. But I'm just trying to let you have an idea. You can use your left finger to point at the monitor. You can use your right hand to navigate the mouse and drag and drop the answers. Kasi we're not given second chances. Clear? The recording is played once only. If you miss it, that's it. There's no second chance. Alright? Spelling. So this is the part of my lecture, which I will be mostly discussing the technicalities. So what do I mean by that? Many people score low points in listening, not because their answer is wrong, but because their answers are interpreted wrongly by the marker. Ano po ba nag-check ng exam natin? Person, human rater, or computer? Computer. Your answers will be fed, uploaded virtually, and the software will analyze it whether it's correct or not. So, do we have remarking EOR enquiry on results recheck pag computer-based test? Sorry, pag listening exam. Kasi, if you don't know by now, your writing and speaking exams can be reassessed. How? Another examiner will come into the picture, listen to the past conversation you did with your exam, and because he or she will like it or not, your score could either retain or improve. So for example, I took the test, I got 6. Sabi ko, sa tingin ko, hindi lang ako bet ng examiner kaya niya ako binagsak. Pa-recheck ako. After recheck, mag-email sila sa inyo, congratulations, your score improved from 6 to 7.5. Literally, I had a student once whose score originally was 6, underwent remarking, and got 7.5. Marami pong cases niya. Actually, I could proudly say about 80% of the time, speaking and writing, recheck, become successful. Pero hindi pwedeng mangyari yan sa listening and reading. Why? Because it undergoes 3 processes. Sasalain niya ng computer, isang salang pa ulit, baka nagkamali, at i-check pa yan ng tao. Walang room for error. Listening and reading. So kung 29 ka, shit, sayang. 29. Just because your 30th correct answer supposed to be, no? Lacks letter S. Ang sagot doon sa number 34 item is visitors. Kung nilagay mo visitor, your answer just lacked 1 letter for you to get 30 points equivalent to band 7. Hindi pa rin yung honor yun. Ouch. So, because of those technicalities, spelling, what else? Following formats, what else? Currencies, figures, numbers. Those technicalities could play a huge role, whether you put an article in front or not. Diba? Again, it's not us to determine whether we put S or not in the answer. It's not us to determine whether we put articles or not. It is actually premeditated on the test. They have specific requirement. For example, bakit kailangan mag-S yung visitors? Kasi may R eh. Blank R. So definitely, it requires the plural form of the verb. Kailan madalas nangyayari yun? Plural form of the noun. Kailan madalas nangyayari yun? Which area? Which part? 1, 2, 3, 4. Part 4. Because part 4, unlike part 1, which only asks you about nouns, names, price, number of days, time, date, locations, food, pangalan ng menu, pangalan ng restaurant, pangalan ng hotel. That's what section 1 is about. That's what part 1 is about. It's all about nouns. But in section 4, the answers are mostly adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. And adjectives, verbs, and adverbs have forms depending on what is required. And if you supply an incorrect form, your answer is basically incorrect. So we have to be careful. That's why we do parts of speech. We also do grammar lessons at the branch so that you can refresh yourselves, not only in writing and speaking, but also in listening. You have to be most careful with your be verb. This is where you have to be most careful about. Why? Because most of your answers for the 3rd and 4th part / sections of the test have this. Be, or any of its forms, is, are, was, were, am, has, have, had. Because the be verb serves as a connector. And as a connector, they require a participle. As a participle, it can either be a present participle or a past participle for that matter. Present participle, let me take you first to your basic verb lesson. Present participle, you just have to add ing, like eating, run, running, listen, listening, wash, washing. That's basically your present participle. Kevin is running. My mother is cooking. So that is your be verb. Is, are, the pupils are studying. Diba? Nakukuha? The dogs are barking. Are. That is your present participle. What about the past participle? The past participle is quite complicated. That's the most complicated stuff, probably. In my opinion. Again, we have our own different opinions on things. Pero para sa akin, pinakamahirap po, see? Past participle. Why? Because sometimes they require changing of the spelling. For example, the word wanted. Wanted acts both as the past form and past participle. So, what is the past form of want? Wanted. What is the past participle of want? Wanted pa din. But oftentimes, there are words like cut. What's the past form of cut? Cut. What's the past participle of cut? Cut pa din. Diba? Now, questions, the verb becomes much more complicated if you encounter irregular verbs like go. What's the past form of go? Went. What's the past participle of go? Gone. So, you cannot put go or went or go, pwedeng going, sige, if the situation permits, with the be verb. Like, is went, is go, bawal yun. Is gone, are gone, be gone, will be gone. I will be gone for a couple of hours. That's how you write it. So if you're going to write an incorrect form of the verb on your answer is incorrect. Right? Incorrect form of the verb lang siya. Sir, I heard, ang narinig ko lang po kasi, sir, cook eh. Sabi dyan, cook the rice first before you go out with your friends. Eh, ang nakalagay dyan sa question, let the rice be blank before going out. Naturally, yung narinig mong cook, change mo siya into cooked. Because That is what the question requires. Clear? So you have to be the one to manipulate, to change the form of verbs, adjectives, adverbs, so that it fits the questionnaire. Clear? Although what you heard is different. You'll be the one to change it so that it fits the questionnaire. What else? Kala nyo, madali lang, ano? Sabi mo, sir, madali lang. Ba't hindi pala? Okay, for dates, any format would do. The more complete, the better. But if there's a format of the example given, follow it. For example, it doesn't matter if you put 23rd of November or 23 November, November 23. Walang date kasi wala namang nilagay na year. All of them are correct. But if the year was mentioned and you didn't write it and it is required, then you're wrong. Another would be eto. For example, this is the schedule for football match of the, let's say, Yellow Dragons football match. Schedule. Or kung British accent, schedule. No, maringi siyang ganon. Now, we have here the date and venue. As indicated in the date, andito yung ating question number 14. Dito naman yung ating question number 15. Ang venue sa number 14 na item was British Sports Center. Okay. So, ito po, literal yung maririnig yung audio. Alright, so let us take you here for the Yellow Dragons football match schedule. So, for September 9, the Yellow Dragons will have a match against the Blue Goblins at British Sports Center, located just across the university. With the same venue, 3 days later, September 12, the Yellow Dragons will have a match against the Green Knights. So be sure to tune in with their matches. Sabi dyan, same venue. So British Sports Center. So your answer for 14 is September 9, correct? Okay. Now tell me, is your answer correct or not? Is it correct or not? Tama, hindi? Mali. Bakit? Because of the format. Look, how was the format for September 12 written? 12 Sept. This is the only time that you do shortcuts. No shortcuts whatsoever in any occasions, except for situations like this. That September was abbreviated into SEPT and the day came before. So your answer, September 9, will be technically incorrect if we didn't write this as, ito po ang tamang sagot, 9 Sept. This is your correct answer. Nagkakaintindihan? Now, why will the answer British Sports Center be wrong too? Because of the spelling. So sabi ni Sir Kevin, regardless of whether you use British or American spelling, your answer is considered correct. Halimbawa, di ba? instead of writing tire like this, mas alam mo yung tire na T-I-R-E, di ba? Gulong. Why would you force yourself using the British spelling kung di mo naman siya kabisado lahat? Magkakaroon kasi ng minor inconsistencies about your answers. So it's better for you to stick with American. Now here's the problem. The format for the spelling of British Sports Center is like this. Binago mo, ginawa mong American. You changed the format. That is wrong. Parang yung pangalan ko, halimbawa yung pangalan ko Kevin, pangalan ko ganyan. Sabi, hindi ko kabisado yung ganyang spelling Kevin na ganyan na lang kabisado ko Ba't marunong ka pa sa nagpangalan sa akin? Ayun nga yung pangalan. Nagigets yung point? So you have to follow the format of the example given. Clear? Okay. May tanong? Ano pa? Mga student numbers. Ito pa yung narinig natin, ha? Kevin, what is your student number? Oh, my student number is AE 421-6514. I repeat, that's AE 421-6514. Okay, thank you so much. So I have here 3 versions. So I have the first version with hyphens. I have the second version with spaces. I have the third version without spaces or dashes. Which do you think is the correct answer? Which do you think? It's the more appropriate answer. My student number is AE. My boss is 421-6514. Yan. Ano po ang pinakatama? Sir, hindi po kasi ako nag-umagahan ngayon pasensya ka na. Ano? Which is the more correct answer? Most appropriate answer? Huh? All of it are correct answers. All of it are correct answers. Yes. Now, there's just one requirement which we will make us choose the third example. Pag may nakalagay, write no more than one word. Because if you put dashes and spaces, they will be considered units. Like 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit. Then it becomes 3 words. Kaya nga, write no more than 3 words and or a number. Hindi ibig sabihin na, yung number ko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Naku, bali na yan. Yun yung answer talaga When you say write no more than 3 words and or a number, we pertain to them as units. So later, pakilala ko tong units na yan. Halimbawa, binigay. How long will the convention last? Well, it will last from January 23 to January 25. Write no more than 3 words. How many words? We have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Is the answer correct or not? Well, correct, but technically wrong because it didn't follow the word requirement. So this will be marked as incorrect. So how are we going to change this into 3 words? Number 1, change 2 into hyphen because hyphen is not considered a word, it's considered a symbol. So how many words do we have? 4. Pasok pa rin ba yan? Hindi pa rin. Remove the excess January. Therefore, when you write January 23 hyphen 25, it falls under 1, 2, 3 units, 3 words yan. Kuha. So that works for this particular situation. So, whether you put dashes or spaces between letters and words, it doesn't matter. What matters is the order in which those numbers and letters occur. Sabi mo nga, AE 4216514. May dash man yan, wala. Eh nilagay mo hindi AE, AI. Eh, kahit lagay mo ng 5 dash yan, mali ka pa rin. Because that letter is incorrect. Okay? Clear? So be careful ha. If they spell something out, if they enumerate numbers and letters, take note of them. Most probably, 90% of the time, they are answers. Maybe not now, but later. Okay? Take note of them. What else? Units of measurement. Do not put unit of measurement. Tulad nung example natin kanina, dito may centimeters. Dito, number 12. 10.8 by 11 centimeters. So, nilagay mo sa answer sheet mo, may cm na. Or, in-spell out mo, sabi niya, sir, dapat daw, buuin natin yung word, centimeters. Yan. So, dahil meron ng unit of the example given, this will be marked as repetitive. This will be incorrect. So, yun po yung mga technicalities, ha? Spelling, following the format of the example, double inputs of units of measurements, no? You have to be careful. Ano pa? Mga signs. For example, nilagay mo dyan, 2M. Yung 2M kasi pwedeng 2 meters or 2 million. So, if your answer is 2 million, spell million. Okay? So, practice tayo. Paki-ready po ang lapis at papel. Yung titingnan ng mga estudyante kayo, di ka nagdadala ng lapis at papel. Oh. Diba? Pagka-enroll, anong sinabi namin? Pencil and paper. Don't forget to bring. Sige, kung wala, ballpen, pwede. Wala, ma'am. Totoo ba, ma'am? Eh, papagalitan ka namin, ma'am. Paano ba yan? Okay. May papel ba kayo? Pwede yung pahiramin si ma'am? Ito, ma'am, ang aking ballpen. May ballpen ka, ma'am? Meron na, ma'am. Sige.
Bukas magdadala na ako.
Ayan. Kahit pag mag-promise, ma'am. Puro promise din po yung mga ito, ma'am. Okay, testingin lang natin yung skills natin. 2 items lang to. Okay.
Now turn to section 3. Section 3. You will hear 2 friends discussing a course they have just done. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 27.
1 minute. 21 to 27, 21 to 22 lang yan. 2 lang yan. Ang hinahanap lang, date. So, mag-aantay ka lang ng month, ng araw. So, kung mauna man, sinabi dyan, 12 of August, pati off, kopyahin mo. Pati off, isulat mo. Kuha.
Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 27.
Oh, Ben, I just remembered I never filled in that form for Nick.
Ah.
Did you do it?
The course feedback form?
Yes. If you want, we can do it together. I've got mine here.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look then. What do we have to do?
Let's fill in the top first. Let's see. Course code.
It's communication in business.
Okay. Communication in business. I do know that, but what's the code?
CB16 something. CB162, isn't it?
That's it. Okay. And dates. When did we start? I remember my birthday's on May 4th, and it was the day after. It must have been May 5th.
Gosh, doesn't seem that long ago, does it?
No. And we finish at the end of this week on Friday, so that's July 15th.
16th.
Oh.
Monday was the 12th.
Yeah.
Right, that was the easy.
Pause. Oh. Ano sagot sa 21? May 5, May 5th, 5th May, 5 May. 22. 16th July, July 16, 16th July. Alin naman sa tatlo na yan? Dahil yung 4 daw ay yung birthday ng, ewan ko kung sino yan. So, yun lang po siya, na? Alright. So, salamat po sa mga umattend sa atin dito sa ating Zoom. Si Kurt, si Nova, si Princess, si Victor. That is the end na po ng ating lecture.